Well, Shema Israel Adonai Lochanu Adonai Had after Abekol Babeka call Nafsheka call me Odeka. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one Lord. And you must love the Lord with all your heart, with all your strength, with all your might. My name is Rabbi Humphrey, and this is PCG TV. Surely in thy light there is light. And today I have a very exclusive interview that we are bringing to you. And I will start by saying, Munsuru. Nyame ene ho ai munsro ene minsro crowd ene interview na me de ehu bia anim because nyame ne me ho e me man so te me nchen pa nti ene de minsro crowd PHB 597 osihwe yi a eye p ene fa eye nso se gidinim anuanom fa won ho ayonko bom tina fa akododo ene kom Wasi etise enhwehwam a egugu erom pampam na esane gugu ne body sem na ebi egu na tadiem sa na ni ado eye hwam ene onuado nti I have men's fellowship, the leadership here, and we're going to talk about the men's fellowship as a whole and also the men's week that is approaching. And I believe that you are really going to enjoy, you are going to learn a lot from this particular interview. Baby, I will share you PCG TV. Don't go anywhere, stick around with me, and I'll be right back after this break. Well, viewers, you're welcome back. This is PCG TV. My name is Rabbi Humphrey, and I am your lovely host for this particular exclusive interview. And today, I have the leadership of the Men's Fellowship here with me. I have the national president in the studio and the national secretary also in the studio. So, Mr. Paul Amo Owusu Budu and Mr. J.K. Saki is here with me in the studio, and we're going to have a wonderful time in the presence of the Lord, even as you also watch us just in your homes, comfortably watching us like that. We are going to discuss about men's fellowship, everything about men. And today I know you will learn a lot. For me, behind cameras, I've learned a lot, even before coming on set. So I know that it's going to be very educative, very informative, and it's going to edify the souls of men. Enti koswa ne ehwe. Baba munsu.
Unyamene oho.
Mama kwaba. Today we are going to blend it in a way,
okay,
so that
right.
Our viewers, everybody can actually get some information from here.
That's right.
But Baba, when we talk about men's fellowship, for the sake of those who are even non-Presbyterians who are watching us, what is the men's fellowship all about? And can you just run us through a brief origin of how the men's fellowship started?
The men's fellowship started long ago, like the other groups in the church, the women's fellowship, the youth, and so on. The fellowship started as a men's class.
Okay.
And along the line, things picked up well. But in the mid-30s, there was a drop in the membership of the Presbyterian Church itself, then Presbyterian Church of Gold Coast. Many ministers were laid off, and then the groups started coming down. So there was a bit of a problem. The church decided to go back and then look at what was wrong.
Okay.
So certain ministers were appointed to be in charge of the men's class to make sure that they were functioning properly. Actually, the fellowship started in the Ghana Presbytery.
Okay.
And they started organizing themselves into groups in the various congregations like the Usu Ebenezer Church, the Teshin Church, or in the Ghana. And then later on, we also had a Doom in Kumasi,
Okay.
also coming in.
Okay.
And then it spread to other parts of the country.
Yeah.
As time went on, one brother, EQQ Sinez,
Okay.
he was the leader of the teaching group, decided that let us see how can we organize ourselves and help other churches without the men's class, so that men can also come together, learn the word of God, and then be taught the proper way in life. So at a point, they decided to have what we called the first presbytery fellowship meeting in the Ga Presbytery. So the fellowship actually started in Ga before spreading to other presbyteries.
Wow.
So there was a first presbytery meeting in Ga. The leader was appointed to be in charge of the whole Ga. You know, Sinez was in charge of teaching.
Oh, okay. And Sinez was a Ghanaian?
Ghanaian.
Okay, because of the name.
Yeah, okay, I understand.
Yes.
So he was appointed or elected the leader of the Ga Presbytery. And he and his team decided that, why don't we call a national meeting? So the first national meeting was called, and in all, 95 delegates attended from the various parts of the country.
Wow.
And they came from 38 congregations at that time.
Okay.
At that time, we didn't have many presbyteries as we have today. So they selected the delegates from the congregations. So that will maybe stand as the first national meeting of the then men's class in the PCG.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. Just as we had the women's class.
Exactly.
So they also had the
men's class. Yes.
Oh, okay. And what was the motive of having that men's class?
Two things I realized reading the history of the fellowship. The first was that men, if you go to the house of God, you don't see many men. So the leadership realized that why is it that the women are so many? And we men, when you come, you don't see us. Where are the men? That's one. And two, they also realized that the women's class was flourishing, growing in numbers. We are all human beings. Why is it that the women are just growing?
Just like that.
And the men are rather diminishing. So he said, no, we must also grow. We are all human beings. And it's not the fact that we have too many women. We have almost equal numbers. So what motivated them was the fact that, no, we must also grow. And the fact that men must also serve God. That is what I realized from what I read.
So for men to serve God and also to help the men
to grow in the Lord. Yes.
Obasaki, would you want to add something to it briefly?
What I would like to add was it was a way of bringing the men together to cater for the welfare of the men and to help them to see the need to study the Word of God so that they can run their homes very well and also perform their duties that are assigned to them in the church.
Mr. Buddha, I'll come back to you. Is it difficult handling men? Is it difficult bringing
Very,
men together?
very difficult.
Wow.
Men are such that they are critical about everything.
Sure.
Whatever you tell them, they want to look at it, study it, and look at the positives, the negatives of it before they take a step.
That's true.
They don't just jump into it and start following you. They want to listen quietly and then look at the pros and cons of the whole thing. Will it be beneficial to me or what? So bringing men together is not an easy job at all. At all. From the beginning, you think that, oh, they have all heard me. So when we bring them, oh, everybody is going to come. Please, that is not it. That is not it.
Wow.
They have other things apart from bringing men, especially in the church. If you go to other places aside the church, if you go to funerals, parties, things like that, you see the men there.
Yes.
Yes. And sometimes in their numbers. So I'm tempted to think that apart from the fact that it's difficult to gather them in the house of God is extremely
difficult.
It's difficult. Very difficult.
Wow. What are some of the basic excuses in our current state that you think men give in order not to come into the house of the Lord?
Yes. Some excuses are we have a lot of responsibilities. You know, you have to care for the family. In the workplace, we are in charge. In the community, there are leaders there. So I have too many things to think about. They'll tell you that. Then they also say that, what at all are you going to say? Are you going to discuss? Oh, all these things I know already. So why should I waste my time? Some think that it is a waste of time to be sitting there listening to just that. After all, Sunday is there, I'll go to church.
Yes.
And
So
then
why
should I another church again? Oh, no. These are some of the things I have realized.
Okay. So, well, viewers, we're still in a discussion, and you realize that we are now delving into men issues. This one is some things are for men only. You know that? Some things are for men only. So we'll be right back just after this break. Don't go anywhere. Just stick around with me, and we'll delve into men fellowship issues in PCG. Well, viewers, you're welcome back. This is PCG TV. My name is Rabbi Humphrey, and this is an exclusive interview with Men's Fellowship in PCG. And I'm already enjoying the interview. I'm learning a lot. I have the national president here with me, Mr. Paul Amo Owusu-Budu, and Mr. J.K. Saki, who happens to be the national secretary here. Mr. Saki, can we get into about how many men are you handling as national executives? Nationwide. Let's say PCG as a whole, all over.
As at 2023, the total was 16,000 plus.
Wow.
And the majority of them are from the Ga West, the Asante Presbytery. And then the smaller presbyteries, the numbers are not really large.
What do you think accounts for the number not being really large within the other presbyteries?
What I've realized is many people migrated from the rural areas to the capitals. So we have the people who are graduate, professionals, and so on and so forth,
Okay.
congregating at the national level.
Oh, okay.
And that is why the statistics
It's
is
like
like that.
Oh, okay. That's very great. Sir, with regards to the numbers, how do you evangelize to the men? What are some of the steps that as national executives you look at in bringing some of the men inside?
The fellowship have designed a study material, Bible study material for every year.
Okay.
Based on the theme of the church.
Okay.
And the members are supposed to study it at their meeting times. And we normally organize a quiz at the national level.
Oh, okay.
So that helps them to really learn so that they can perform at the national level.
Oh, okay.
And secondly, we have the men's week like we are having now.
Okay. And
through the men's week, what we want to tell the public comes from the program to the members.
To the members.
Yeah.
Okay. So those are some of the ways that we are able to reach out to the men. Is there?
Yeah, I want to add that from the national level, we have our action plan for the year.
Okay.
And the national level proposes programs for our members, which the presbyteries, districts, and the congregations look at and then plan their own actions for the year, activities for the year. So sometimes we have talks on issues of national interest. For example, we have climate change. We think that it is something all of us must know about. Yeah. So in a year, the national level fellowship proposes to our members that whatever study that we may include climate change. So they find out professionals to give talks, have a discussion at their congregational level to talk about these things. Sometimes health issues, sometimes social issues. This year there will be election, national election, so people talk about it so that you have a peaceful election. In fact, before the election, during the election, and after, so that we all get at the same level. These are some of the things from the national, which is passed on to the presbyteries and the districts, and then they use it to make their own plan of action for the year.
Okay, but let's get into the Men's Week celebration as a whole.
Okay.
What is this Men's Week celebration all about?
Okay.
The theme and what we seek to achieve with the Men's Week.
Thank you very much. The Men's Week is a week set aside by the PCG itself, the church. So it is on our almanac.
Okay.
It is being celebrated this year, starting today, 10th June, through the week to the 16th, that is Sunday.
Okay.
The Men's Week is there to appreciate men and to encourage men. In our normal life in Ghana, especially, we normally don't celebrate men. We celebrate women more. So at least for 1 week of the year, you just take the 51 weeks and then give us just 1 week to celebrate men.
That's great.
In the church and outside the church. So our motive is to celebrate men to start with, and within the week we have a program lineup each day what the men in the church must do. Yes, so there are a number of them for each of the days within the week.
So from Monday to Sunday, if can we get into the details a bit? Like within Monday, what will you be doing? Tuesdays, what will you be doing? Wednesdays, what is expected to be done nationwide?
Yeah, in our proposed daily activities, we said that, in fact, 9th of June should be a day to launch the week, where everybody in the church will be there, and then the minister in charge or the agent in charge or his representative will launch the week and then talk about it a bit to the entire congregation. That was for Sunday 9th. It was done in many of the congregations. Some of them will launch it today. Now, in addition to that, Monday, we said that should be used for an activity we have termed Jack, where are you?
Oh, okay.
Jack, where are you?
Okay.
Many people in the church have heard Jack, where are you?
That's true.
But what Jack, where are you is all about is that we realize that there are many people who have been members of this church. They are still alive, but for some time now, they are not active. We don't see them in the church. We don't see them at fellowship meetings. Any activity in the Presbyterian church, you don't find them. So we are saying that, where are you? What it means is that we are going to look for our inactive members, even those who have not yet joined the men's fellowship. So we want to go to the various sessions, get a list of male members, 40 years and above, and even others, so that we trace where they are, and then we speak with them to bring them back to the church. That is for Monday.
That's great.
On Tuesday, if my memory serves me right, it's I think a debate among men as one group and women as another group. Debate between men and women in the various congregations has been very exciting.
Between the men class and the women class?
Yes. Has been very exciting. And we want us to look at the topic, men and women who are serving the Lord better. So maybe because it's a debate, we can say that the men are serving the Lord better. Then the against will also come. That is for the second day. That is on Tuesday.
And the Wednesday and the Thursdays?
Yes. On Wednesday, we have some of the topics which we think that we have to look at. They include our visitation to our friends in the church. We realize that many members are carried to the church by Okada riders. Some are carried by Pragya riders. When they come, the riders go back and wait for more people to bring to the church. And the men's fellowship has realized that these riders, many of them don't go to church. So in 2023, we said that we were going to have Okada and Pragya riders for Christ. So we are finding a way of bringing these people to church, even though many of them don't belong to the 40+ age bracket.
Yeah,
But once they are coming to the church will grow.
that's it.
Many of them are the youth and then the youth.
Yes.
It's fine. One day they will grow.
They will grow to,
and then they will come to the men's
40.
fellowship. So that's one activity which we want to do. We want to organize something like a gala match or a breakfast meeting. We invite them to join us and so on.
Wow.
Yeah, so this is some of the programs that we have.
Very, very beautiful programs in there. And we'll take a quick commercial break. And when we come back, we'll delve deeper into it. I know you're enjoying it. I'm very much interested in the Okada, evangelism. I think it's very powerful. And when we come back, we'll delve deeper into the men's fellowship of the Presbyterian Church of Ghana. Stay tuned. Well, folks, you're welcome back. My name is Rabbi Humphrey, still on PCG TV in the light. Surely there is light. Men's fellowship here, and we are discussing into details. I heard that the national president said there will be a gala match somewhere, so we are going to get into it. But before we come back to what we're talking about, Munshru.
Yeah.
That slogan. Why Munshru? Why fear not? I want you to delve deeper into it for me, sir.
Thank you, Papa. When I moved from YPG to the men's fellowship, at that time there was no YAF.
Yes.
In fact, I came in when I was still the president for YPG.
Wow.
But I was brought in to come and help organize the men's fellowship. I was wondering, what do we fear? And why are you saying that? So I decided to find why that slogan. And I realized that in the life of every Christian, you have challenges.
Okay.
And the Lord is speaking to all Christians, but especially men, that you should fear not.
Sure.
Because he was with you. And I realized that it was picked from Isaiah 41:10. So I became interested in that and saw that fear not is mentioned 365 times in the Bible.
Wow.
So I said, wow, 365. And there are 365 days in a year. So maybe God is telling us that for each day of the year, fear not.
Fear not. Wow.
And I think it's good that the pioneers thought about this and then picked it as a slogan for the men's fellowship. Yes, that's what I can say.
It's very deep. That means that in our daily lives we don't have to fear anything. We need to believe in God.
Exactly.
So that God will help us
Yes.
to be able to go about our daily activities. Mr. Saki, even though we are not to fear, definitely there are also some challenges that men face. What are some of the challenges that as men, the men ministry, the men fellowship of PCG, generally, nationally, descending down into the locals, that sometimes come on your desk as the national secretary and as like that you face in the men's fellowship?
What I realized, or what came to light from the various reports I've been receiving over the years, was that one, the men normally don't have time for, or they don't make time for the activities of God, but they have more time for the social activities. And secondly, the men find it very difficult coming together because all of them feel they are expert in their own life.
That's good.
He's the boss.
Yes.
So when many bosses are coming
Together.
to meet, then who will be the boss?
Many CEOs are coming together, many directors, many chairmen. Wow. So who becomes the, so it's a challenge.
It's a major challenge that we have. And the men also have a challenge of they don't like praying much, like the women fellowship who fast. They have time for prayer, fasting and prayer, but the men find it extremely difficult to do such things.
The men too don't pray plenty. Short prayer. Short prayer. No long prayer, short prayer. So that becomes, so even with I've been wondering, even though I've witnessed, I think, a national men's fellowship meeting where there were prayer sessions, and the prayer sessions were that day I was, in a way, I was surprised to see a lot of men together praying like that. That was my very first time that I witnessed such a national program with men together praying like that. But one thing I know, men don't like long prayer. So
right.
that is even also a challenge.
Yes.
Okay. And what else do we sometimes have as a challenge? Or Mr. Budu, you want to add something to it?
Or like Secretary said, they have many excuses they give.
Okay.
That, I close at work from at 5 o'clock. There's a whole lot of traffic. By the time I get to the place, the time is over. So I'm not able to attend meetings. But if you are taking just 2 hours for the week, 24 hours every day, and you are taking only 2 hours within that 1 week to serve your Lord, I don't think that will be too much. If you properly plan that I'm going to take these 2 hours out of the 24 times 7 hours to serve God in this way in the fellowship, it should be possible. But because they have not made their minds, they are not committed enough to do that, they find it as a problem.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay. Before we wrap this whole interview up, I would want to ask, Mr. Saki said something about, now you have a lot of directors, a lot of CEOs, a lot of bosses, a lot of fathers, a lot of leaders within, at your disposal. How do you handle them? How are you able to handle them?
Handling men, as we said from the beginning, isn't that easy. And as a leader, for the work of God to go on, there are some of the things that the men may be doing that you will see, but you don't have to take action on it. And there are some things too you may be hearing, but so long as the work of God is going on, you champion that and close your ears to and eyes to what is taking place.
I want to add that even if you are going to correct them, you do so in love. With that in mind, it's a correction, but you are doing it with love to bring the person in line with whatever as a fellowship and as a church the person must be. So if you do it that way, many of them understand and then they fall in line. But if you shout, they will shout back. at
Yes.
you because he's also a boss.
Yes. I'm just wondering how you can even shout there.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Especially, they don't want you to do it in public.
Yes.
So you call them aside,
Yes.
sit down with the person, and then let him see reason
Why?
with yes, why things must be done differently.
Wow.
Uh,
Wow. Your realm is a different realm. It's a different ball game altogether.
that's it.
Before we wrap up, sir, starting from Mr. J.K. Saki, some acknowledgements that people that you would want to say thank you to. Then I'll start from you, sir. Then I will end here, so that we can wrap it up.
I would like to thank our people, the people who started the men's fellowship, who thought that it must be also a group in the Presbyterian Church of Ghana. All the ministers and the agents who assisted that dream came to life. And the synod at the time that saw the need to accept the group as one of the groups in the Presbyterian Church of Ghana. I'm very grateful for what they have done.
That's great. That's great, sir.
We are also grateful to moderators, past and present, for their efforts. The immediate past moderator was actually the chairperson for drafting of our constitution.
Oh, that's great.
Yes. And he was pushing. In fact, even before he became the moderator, he liked to see the men's fellowship grow. So it wasn't a surprise that he went with us to Doyum to outdoor, let me say it that way, our men's center at Doyum.
Okay.
Other moderators, including the current moderator, are so much interested in the men also coming up, growing spiritually and in other ways. Our director, Church Life and Nature, will not be left out. He will call you every time. And what surprises me is that you call at any time and he takes it.
Wow.
Say, what is the problem? Can I help? One day I came here on Monday, knowing that Monday ministers normally will not. But he said, come home. And we went home to discuss issues. We have other directors in the church who have been helping at DSS. We are so grateful to them. Past executive, the immediate past president, Brother Irenchi, SS Irenchi, then one of our oldest living presidents, Professor F.T. Mate, was also a president. He's about 96 years now. But he calls you and asks you what is going on. Can I be of any help? And he has a whole library about the men's fellowship. We are very, very appreciative of such people.
Great.
There are many of them. We have the list. At appropriate time, I think we will appreciate all of them.
Sure.
We have been paying visits to them, so we know such people. And all the ministers and catechists in the various congregations who have been bringing the men together, organizing them, especially for the Men's Week. We know that there are problems in some congregations, but the majority of them, I think, are doing well. If all sessions and all agents will come to assist the men, I'm sure we can go very far.
Very,
very far. Yes.
Okay, sir. So thank you very much for coming on our set today. We really appreciate you. We
But
really honor you.
if you'll be allowed just 1 minute.
Okay.
I mentioned Doyum,
Okay.
which is a men's, where we have our men's center.
Okay.
It's a major activity that we have.
Okay.
It's a 26-acre land.
Okay.
For the church.
Wow.
But was acquired through the men's fellowship.
Okay. Wow.
We have a center there, which we want to bring up to function well. We have started walling the 26-acre land.
Oh, great.
We have beds there so that anybody who wants to go and pray.
It's like a retreat center.
A retreat center.
That's powerful.
Yes. And we have a director in charge there now.
Okay.
Who will receive you nicely.
Okay.
For whatever you want to come and do there.
Okay.
I want to thank all those who made it possible.
Okay.
Previously, the land was lying and people were encroaching.
Encroaching there.
Yeah, but since the beginning of this year, we have started walling the whole place.
That's great.
To protect that place.
That's great.
I think that if you do that, future men's fellowship members will be very, very happy that we did that.
That's great.
Yes.
I think that's a great project that you are doing, and we need to support in prayer, even in kind and in cash. So I'm even using this as an opportunity to tell all men's fellowship people, the whole congregation, to pray and also to support, so that this retreat center at Doyum, right?
Doyum, yes.
Doyum would actually go on and come up very, very well. So, folks, until same time, in our next episodes of interviews, we will come back to you again. This is where time will permit us to end this interview, and we're so much grateful to the National President of the Men's Fellowship, Mr. Paul Amu Owusu Budu.
Yes.
Thank you very much, sir, for coming.
Thank you.
And also Mr. J.K. Saki, God richly bless you, sir, the General Secretary, for coming. We really appreciate you. My name is Rabbi Humphrey, and as usual, as we do it, exclusive interviews on PCG TV in daylight. Surely there is light. So later out, as bye for now.